Hello and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner, y'all. We have a few little seedlings here that we are going to up pot, or should I say transplant, into our green stalks right here today. Hi everyone, it is finally time for me to do something with this lettuce. I've been trying to do something with this lettuce for a minute, but things have just been kind of busy. Anyway, we are going to take this lettuce, and in this green stalk right here, you can see everything in this bottom row is all done. It's dried out, it's done. Buttons done had her fill. I need to get this out, and I need to get the new lettuce in. In addition to that, I have some peppers that I started. And this side over here, these are sweet peppers. They're tiny, they're small, and they're not happy. So we are going to up pot these peppers into this space right here, which is my overwintered green stalk that I've kind of cleaned up. And we are going to put those over there. Now, one of the issues with peppers is, y'all, it is too cold and too early outside to put peppers outdoors right now. I am in zone 6A. I'm in Southwest Ohio, and there's snow on the ground, y'all, and it's like negative forever degrees as far as we can see. Since I have my green stalk inside that I overwintered, I'm going to go ahead and put at least the sweet peppers in there so that they can go ahead and get big and strong and healthy. And so when I take that overwinter green stalk outside, these will be ready to go along with the rest of the plants that are in there. And my hope is that we get an earlier harvest. So we will go ahead and plant these, just the sweet ones, 3 plants. Or should I say, these, the sweet ones, 3 plants. Now, my hot peppers over here, and again, y'all, they're not happy. I started them in Happy Frog versus my seed starting mix. And so they're just not happy. So I want to get them out of this space, let them spread their legs, let them get into a space where they can be happy. For the hot peppers, yeah, I can't put those in my sweet green stalk. So I'm going to give them individual little containers so that they can spread their legs, get happy, stretch out, get into the soil that they're used to being in, and let them continue to grow and flourish so that they'll be ready to go outside when the time comes as well. So the first thing we need to do, y'all, is get the rest of this lettuce out. That's the first thing we need to do. So let's start there. I have a bag here to grab all of the leaves and everything. And y'all, when I'm sweeping up my grow room floor and when I'm pulling leaves like this out, I'm not putting that in the trash. Ooh, goodness, the exposure is really bad on this. Hopefully it'll clear up. But I don't put this in the trash, y'all. I compost it. If I could get to the garden where I compost, which I can't right now. It's under all kinds of snow. But we are holding on to it. That's all you need to know. We're holding on. It's not going in the trash. So even if I pull a little bit of soil out like this right here, it's not going in the trash, y'all. It'll all be reused. And I'm down here today without little buttons because she would have a fit with me back here messing with this green stuff. So the lettuce and the pepper is all from the Kim's Cozy Corner seed bundle. So let me start there. I have 4 plants that we're going to put in here, but y'all, I got 6 pockets. So I am going to start something from seed in the other 2 pockets that I have that are available. And I am going to start a free seed that Baker Creek sent me. When I got it, I'm like, ooh, that sounds interesting. So I don't want to mess up the name or anything. So I'm going to go over there and grab it up, and then I will be able to tell you what it is. But we'll finish getting these pockets set up first. And there's some cool stuff happening up here, but we're not here to talk about that today. All kinds of cool stuff. Look at that, y'all. Look, look, look. I had some people who caught one of my seed starting videos and they said, how do you grow stuff indoors? Well, this is the video to show how I grow lettuce indoors. And this is up here. These are beans growing indoors and cucumbers growing indoors. But that's not what this video is about, y'all. We're going to talk about these pockets down here. This has been going for several months now, and I haven't added any granular fertilizer. So I'm going to go ahead and add granular fertilizer to all 6 pockets. This is garden tone is what it is. I think I have a picture of it. If not, it's the Spoma garden tone organic. Organic garden tone is what it is. So I fill the pockets up. I'm going to massage it in. Now in my GreenStalks, I am using Happy Frog soil. That is my preferred soil for my GreenStalks. This is what I like to put in them when I'm transplanting up into the GreenStalk. Not my preferred for starting all of my seeds and everything. And starting seeds is a big piece of the work that I need to do every year since I grow all of my own food. So we're going to go back to seed starting mix for starting large quantity of seeds. Now I am going to start some seeds in this GreenStalk right here, but the massive amount of seeds I start for transplants and for my seed set or for my plant cell in the spring, I'm going to go back to using what I know works, which is a seed starting mix. I usually just use Jiffy. That's the one I normally get because that's what I can get from the big box store down the street. You can make your own. I have cocoa coir, I have vermiculite, I have perlite. I've mixed it all up before and made my own seed starting mixes and stuff. But y'all, that's work. I can go buy that little bag and it works just as well. So I have to pick and choose where I want to save my money. And that's not where I want to save my money today. All of these pockets are now filled in with the granular fertilizer. And I put granular fertilizer in like once every couple of months or so. Even if I'm outdoors, I'll put granular fertilizer in at the beginning of the season when I set my garden up, and then a couple of months in, about halfway for the season for me, because my season's not that long, I put some more granular fertilizer in. But every 10 to 14 days, I'm adding a liquid fertilizer to my GreenStalks. It gets fertilizer along the way, just not always granular. So for these lettuce plants, I am going to put in mycos. This is my mycos right here. I like to put it in my pockets and make sure the roots of my plants touch. So here's one of my lettuce plants right here. This is red cells. And I really do like these GreenStalk seed starting trays. They got the slits on the side here that does what we call air pruning. And so I just want to show you something up close. So this part right here is above the slits. And you can kind of see that the roots are kind of wrapping around a little bit on those. But at the bottom, you don't see that because the slits are down here and it air prunes. So air pruning keeps your plant from becoming root bound is what it does. But this is red cells from botanical interest, and it's part of my 10-pack of Kim's Kozy Korner seed bundle that I'm doing in relationship with GreenStalk. We got our pocket prepared. I'm going to put my mycos in the pocket. And then, y'all, I'm going to plant this all the way back up to where the soil was. So when I put it in the pocket, I'm going to bury all of that, and the soil is going to stop right at the top of this lettuce. And there it is. It's in there. Now, this pocket needs a little soil in it. I don't have any inside right now, so we'll have to worry about that just a little later. Not right now, because I don't want to go out in the cold and get some soil for that pocket. So we're going to do that for all of these lettuce plants. Ooh, boy, they in need of soil bad. I might have to come back and do that later today and get that soil in there to bring that pocket up. So I'm going to do that for the rest of these lettuce plants, and then I will bring you back. All right, y'all, I am back. And y'all, I got a corner of Happy Frog, and that's it. Just one little corner. But I do have some land and sea compost, and here's a picture of it. So I can put that land and sea compost in these pockets that are in need of soil after I use the last of this Happy Frog. I've had this land and sea compost for a minute. I don't use it in everything, but I do love it. So if I'm not making my own compost, if I'm going to buy compost, I prefer the land and sea. The only bad thing is, y'all, of course, you know I can't get it here. I have to order it online, and when you order online, it's so expensive. So expensive. They say they're not charging you for shipping. Yes, they are. They're putting that shipping right in the cost. So they just throw it right on in the price. And so, yeah, you paying for it. Free shipping. When it goes on sale, I take this land and sea when it goes on sale. Let me show you the bag, y'all. Right here. So I have to use it sparingly. But when it goes on sale, I will pick up several bags and I will use those bags over a very long period of time. When I get outside, I do have a compost pile that my neighbor and I share, and I can get fresh compost from the compost pile. But y'all, that's a little far walk too. So I make sure I use it in his garden, but I don't always use it in mine. Woo! It's a little too far away sometimes. Y'all, I need to stop being so lazy. All right. I'm feeling pretty good. Oh, that pocket needs some more. All right. Now I'm feeling pretty good. Now I mentioned I'm going to have a couple of pockets that, let me find one where you can actually see what I'm doing though. I have two pockets that we are going to put in this. Hey, dude. It's bok choy. It's a tiny bok choy, y'all. And we're going to put those in these two empty pockets. This was a free seed. For bok choy, usually you plant your bok choy in place. And since it's a tiny bok choy, my goal is to put 3 per pocket. And I only got 2 pockets, y'all. This is what we're putting in there. It says they're extra dwarf heads, miniature bok choy. And y'all know I like to grow little bitty things, right? Dwarf stuff. I love doing that. It says it grows really fast, so that's what I'm hoping for. If I was outside, it is a partial sun plant, so you don't need full sun. Y'all, the seeds are tiny, and they look just like Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale. All of these seeds look alike. They're all in the same family. Now we're going to cover it up with a 1/4 inch of soil. So I laid the seeds in the pockets, and I actually put 4 seeds in each pocket. So I'm just going to sprinkle soil on top just like this right here for the 2 pockets that I put it in. And one thing you realize is that I did not put mycos in this pocket. There are no roots yet, so it doesn't have to become one with the soil just yet. Now this GreenStalk is done. We have our red sales lettuce in. We have our little dwarf bok choy in. Now we're not going to water just yet. We're going to go ahead and jump over here to this other GreenStalk and go ahead and get the sweet peppers planted, and then we will water everything in at one time. I don't want to forget my little label. Boop. Labels in now. Now we'll move over. So we are now over to this GreenStalk right here. I have overwintered peppers in here, and I have 1 pocket of micro dwarf tomatoes. These are orange hat tomatoes that we will be harvesting very soon. So that's fresh potato or fresh tomatoes indoors, y'all, in Ohio, because we can't grow them outside this time of year unless you got a fancy greenhouse and all that kind of stuff. But I do have some empty pockets in here. I think I got 1, 2 on this top tier, and I have some on this next tier down. And one thing is that I need to make sure that there's plenty of light. Now that I've kind of reset up my grow space here, I'm in an indoor grow tent. I got light in better places now. You see this one here shining right into the camera. That doesn't need to be shining into the camera. But anyway, we are going to add some fertilizer. But I'm going to go ahead and add a little fertilizer to pretty much every pocket you see here because I haven't added any fertilizer since I set this up indoors several months ago. So we will add it to all pockets that have active plants growing in them. If they don't have plants in them right now, I'm not going to worry about it. We'll fill those up later. But this is a green stalk, so they will all benefit from it anyway, because that nutrition will run through the planter and it'll go down to the other pockets as well. I know I have 3 that we're going to replant pockets in. So I know I put 1 up there. This will be 2. And this will be 3 right here. So we will add some just to those pockets as well. So we need to kind of mix it in like we always do. So these are overwintered peppers. We're not really trying to get peppers, but we did just harvest quite a few peppers off of here. And so we'll take the harvest as well. But the whole intent really is to help these peppers survive so that I can get them back outside and they're fully established. So when the season allows, I can get them back outside and they will start producing peppers faster. And y'all, I've found that they give me larger peppers too. Every year, the size of my peppers have grown. Now this plant right here, y'all, this one is going on its 4th or 5th season. I've lost track right now. And after I harvested all the peppers off, y'all, I cut all the leaves. I cut them all the way back and they're already starting to bud and bloom again, which is fine. I will take it. And I'm going to go ahead too, y'all, and put a little compost in here as well. You can use whatever kind of fertilizer you choose to use. I prefer single digit fertilizer. So it's giving a little bit of everything. So single digits in N, P, and K, unless I'm looking for a specialty. For example, something for a root crop or something like that. But when I'm just trying to do a general fertilizer, I like my numbers to be low and slow. All right, I massaged it in everywhere, looks like. Some of the pockets are a little low on this as well. I don't have Happy Frog. So compost it is. All right, so I have 3 plants to put in here. We're going to put 1 in this top one right here. So we're dealing with plants again. So I'm going back to my mycos. For the plants that I'm putting in here, they are called, it's a sweet bell mix, basically what it is. It's a red, a yellow, and an orange bell mix. I have at least 1 plant of each. I don't remember which is which at this point in time, but I have at least 1 plant of each. So we're going to put 1 here, 1 up there. I am going to go down to that 3rd tier though, just so I can spread them out a little bit, y'all. I'm not going to put anything in the 4th tier because that's the one I'm most concerned about from a light standpoint. So we won't put 1 on the 4th tier, but we'll put 1 in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd tiers. And as it's growing in here, I will keep cutting it back to kind of make it short and bushy like I've been doing with all of the established plants as well. You should put 1 pepper per pocket. I'm putting 2 because they're growing together too on some of these. We'll get them in there right in just a minute. And again, y'all, they weren't very happy, so we're just trying to make them happy. And they should be much happier in here. Just got to make sure I don't have the wrong tags in with them. Since they're so pitiful looking, y'all, I put them in. Most of the soil broke away, but I know that they're in there. They're in good shape. Peppers, they like to make friends, is what some people like to say. And so I have 2 growing in here. Maybe 1 will make it. Maybe none will make it. Maybe they'll both make it. Either way, I have 2 plants because they were already 2 together. And I just don't know if it's red, yellow, or orange. By the time I get ready to do my next indoor update, I like to do about once a week so you can see how my young seedlings are doing, transplants, how everything's growing in my indoor space. So by the time I get ready to do the next one, I'm hoping you'll be able to see how these have taken off. So now let's water. Since everything in here are transplants, there's no reason to water the individual pocket. So we're going to water from the top. I am not using a liquid fertilizer today because I put in a granular fertilizer. So we will not be doing that. So I like to go low and kind of slow. So I'm going to add 1 gallon. This is a gallon container. 1 gallon to the space here and let it slowly water all the pockets. I'm going to save just a little bit for that transplant, wherever it is. There it is. Just the one in the top tier. There we go. Just a little bit for that one there. Yeah, I might as well do all 3. A little bit for that one. And where's the third one? There it is. But all the rest of this, y'all, is going right in the top. As I move back over to the yellow GreenStalk, for the yellow GreenStalk, I'm going to go ahead and water from the top as well because all of the pockets need it. This is only 3 tiers, so I find that that third tier gets watered pretty quickly. I slowly water and let the water go from the top all the way down. Every now and then I'll do the top pockets because they're closer to the light. They dry out faster. So I'll put a little bit in those top pockets. But other than that, y'all, I'm just let the water run through. But since I did start seeds, for the pockets that I started the seeds in, I am going to spray the top. And it was just 2 pockets. Because those seeds don't have roots yet. So they can't reach down and absorb that moisture that gets dripped from the individual pockets from up above and then the little gray disc in the middle. So the water is always coming down and through. So let me finish pouring this entire container in. And y'all, that's it. That's me transplanting some things over to the GreenStalk, getting a head start on this upcoming season, and keeping the winter vegetables going, right? I'm going to need some lettuce to eat with these cucumbers here in the next few weeks. So we need to get this lettuce growing. And who knows, y'all, we might want a salad with our beans. So that's it for today. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll keep it coming. I'll keep working. I'll keep doing things indoors as we prepare for outdoors and as we fill our bellies this winter season when it's too cold to be outside. So until next time, and I hope there'll be a next time that you choose to hang out with me at Kim's Cozy Corner. Bye.